This is the other way.
This is the other way.
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Remember.
I remember everything. You want to do that again? I felt like I was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Cut.
What's happening at Madrigal here on the set of Morbius, and it's our first day.
It's not that complicated. It's not.
Oi, 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 oi.
This is real hope.
Oh, that was you, wasn't it?
Oh, God.
This is ridiculous.
Have I got something in my teeth?
Go away.
I love the back. No, Z.
Good enough.
None of this footage is going to make the cut.
Oh no, it will.
Compliment it.
I've seen the other ones.
I'm dying to get in there. They won't let me. Just want to reiterate, I could be doing all of these things.
It's all American candy, and I'm stealing it from props and giving it to the crew, but just don't say anything.
I stole it. Gary told me, yeah.
I got busted stealing.
How old are you?
Oh my God.
All these years. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Today's my birthday.
Oh, Dr. Morbius, I love you.
Like chocolate and coffee in it, isn't it?
That was it.
You're wonderful.
Mic drop.
That's a wrap. Thank you.
Get out of here. Nothing to see here. Action. Hey, cut! Cut! But you did it a bit more serious, which was nice.
Daniel Espinosa is our director. He's the dream director to work with because he's never afraid to make a decision. And he has such a great vision of what he wants.
My name is Daniel Espinosa. We're shooting Morbius for Sony. It's a dream come true for me. I always enjoy the process. I always are filled with curiosity and anxiety in a good combination. Okay, let's go another one. Let's go. Give it tempo.
He's an actor's director. He really believes in his actors.
So I think this is fun. So let's do that. Yeah.
Having a filmmaker like this, with a movie like this, and those worlds colliding, and his sense of reality and his sense of style is really exciting.
I know you. Where's the brother that I used to have?
I will never leave you. And I will not go back. You cannot make me go back. I won't let you make me go back.
We knew with this particular film we wanted to do more than just what was on the page.
I have a very interesting team around me. Luis is like a sister to me. Lucas is, an old, experienced producer. Through their guidance, I think I can get closer to what makes me stronger, what makes me a more interesting director. Okay, perfect. Okay, run it full speed. Then I have Oliver Wood. He's a cinematographer who has changed cinema several times. He's an action classic. We did Safe House together. We followed the kind of Bourne tradition. But on this movie, I wanted to take a step to the left. I thought it would be interesting to look at more Asian pictures. They have a more kind of visually challenging way of showing augmented human beings and these superpowers.
The hard part's not slipping on the glass. Sugar glass.
I was raised with the movies from the 70s, so I was always after something that was gritty and very natural. I always adored the traditional action. Our movie will be a bit of both. A bit of a classical Asian martial arts movie with a mixture of the modern superhero cinema.
We have Stefania Cella, who's our production designer and somebody who can draw the world.
I look at the comics, I took the few elements, and then we move into a very specific direction that was not there.
We developed the look of the character and the feel of the movie, the overall vibe of the movie, and the tone.
It's a curse. Believe me, brother.
We also have Matthew Butler.
I needed somebody who could portray the inner struggles that Morbius has from an exterior point of view.
Look at the Marvel comic book character. He's clearly this pale face icon. How do we make this guy be this guy and still feel that it is the actor Jared Leto? So he needs to be able to morph into these different expressions.
Michael. Hey. Michael.
I think most vampire movies, they just paint on the actual actor that's playing the role, and we are using visual effects to create something very different and unique.
I'm starting to get hungry. You don't want to see me when I'm hungry.
I'm excited to see how we visualize echolocation, to be able to use sound to know the location of objects around you. I hope that it's something that the audience finds visually stimulating.
What else can I do?
Previs is a kind of tool that has become increasingly important as a way of communicating what shots do you want, and it helps us to navigate how we get from point A to point B.
The whole purpose of doing this is to try and expedite how you shoot the film.
The huge post-production that takes place, it's always quite intriguing to see the transformation.
It's always a tall order to do something new in this industry, and I hope it's going to be emergent, it's going to evolve. Nothing but hard work, you've got to keep going until it looks 100% real.
We have put together such a great team behind the scenes for this movie.
Daniel brought a lot of passion and energy and expertise to the role.
We spend a lot of time really making sure the digital realm intersects with the physical realm in this film.
Nice! I think most great heroes are anti-heroes. Morbius is the same. Morbius in the Marvel Universe was in a long time a bad guy. The most interesting characters of the Marvel Universe have always been those that have one foot on each side. Venom. All these characters are the ones that are the fundamentally most fascinating.
You know, I quite fell in love with this character and with Dr. Michael Morbius. I'm really attracted to roles that there's an opportunity to do something transformational. It was a unique opportunity for me. I'd never done anything quite like it.
Why am I still alive if not to fix this? To save my best friend Milo and everyone else like us.
When we meet Dr. Michael Morbius, he's basically at the end of his life. He's a brilliant doctor, he's in search of a cure. He's getting closer and closer. He's kind of breaking some rules in order to find the cure.
Glad it's you.
He's very thin, very frail. He walks with the use of crutches. He's deteriorating before our eyes rapidly.
And in his trials to try to save himself and the people that he cares for, he turns into a vampire.
Don't shoot!
Michael, it's just me.
Morbius, when he discovers this inner vampire he has, becomes very afraid of it. It's the classic kind of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story.
And in every movie you make, you want to explore new territory. And with Morbius, who finds a cure and then becomes incredibly powerful, strong, and succeeds in that mission, only to have things kind of go wrong.
Sorry.
I'm starting to get hungry. You don't want to see me when I'm hungry.
Okay. Great stuff. Really informative. Thank you.
It was really like a three-part process in attacking the role. I played Dr. Michael Morbius at his most frail, at his most healthy and powerful, and then at his most monstrous.
Michael, stop! Stop!
Most great heroes are anti-heroes. Most of us, are resistant to accept that we are the chosen ones.
I've become something different. The question is, how do I control it?
You're gonna see a man transform into something that you will be horrified with, but you also will follow him. I think he will be a very different superhero, just like Venom.
It's a Marvel character that's made an appearance in maybe a couple of Spider-Man episodes.
Sony Pictures has been making Spider-Man movies for quite a while, and some of the villains in the Spider-Man universe are pretty compelling. One of the main villains of Spider-Man that he has in the comics is Morbius.
At its heart, it is an origin story, so we are with Morbius while he discovers who he is and what powers that he has. Putting the character on the screen for the very first time, that was a big one.
It's a story about a man who has to accept the inner beast that he has inside of him to become the hero that we want him to be.
It takes you on a big ride, but also there's complexity with the character. We kind of live through his confusion and the fight to understand how things are happening and why they're happening.
I can't control it!
When you put a character on the screen for the first time, yeah, you have a big opportunity to create something.
This is the beginning of the kind of anti-hero universe.
Look what you've become. Everything I am because of you.
I think that what's fun about this character too is there's still a lot to discover. And I'm sure in the future there's potential to uncover and discover a lot more. There was a lot to be attracted to here, and there's kind of a web of opportunity. And with Morbius, I did things on this movie that I really don't think I ever did before.
See? I knew you could do it.
That's the fun part of it, being a big, huge, fun, Marvel, Sony movie.
Yesterday, I could barely walk. Today, I don't know what I'm capable of.
3, 2, 1, action! Milo!
We are with him as he's discovering who he is.
You're coming with us.
And that's fun.
We're right now at the Horizon rooftop. We're making, a little action scene here where Morbius comes out. He's gonna blow up and then almost blow over the side of the building. It's gonna stop, the scouts gonna come up, they're gonna arrest him. When it comes to action, I come from a very kind of realistic point of view. I was raised with the movies from the 70s, so I was always after something that was gritty and very natural. On this movie, I'm working with superpowers, augmented human beings, and to help me with that, I got Gary Powell. Gary Powell is one of the strongest second unit directors and stuntmen in the business.
Well, Daniel Espinosa is great. He's a great sort of collaborator with the whole team. He relies on all of us to sort of come up with the best stuff that we can. The ideas for the stunts are obviously, we're based on the Morbius character and what he can actually do.
This is Charing Cross, technically New York. Milo and Morbius have had a confrontation inside the train station, and now they've come to the platform. Basically, this is then Milo giving Morbius a good old thump, sends him flying down the platform.
I think this movie, for me, was always an opportunity to try and explore the action side of myself as an actor. I'm trying to do as many of the stunts as I can, or that my creaking body will allow.
He's been training, you know, as much as he can. We've been bombarding him with, like, you've got to learn this fight, you've got to learn that fight, you've got to learn that fight.
It's been quite exciting. It's like learning a dance. Just, you know, more repetitive and painful.
Playing Morbius, it was a unique opportunity for me. I'd never done anything quite like it.
When you read the comics, he is very strong. If not, he's stronger than Spider-Man when you actually look at the stat cards. Bats are heavily involved in it, so we sort of looked at how vampire bats attack each other. Even though we're in this superhuman universe of fantasy, we want to try and make it as believable as possible, that when you see this character doing what he's doing, that you genuinely believe it.
I wanted the audience to really experience how it would be to have superpowers. I wanted to be as amazed as you would be yourself if you suddenly could fly, if you could jump 10 stories, if you were stronger, if you could transform. I think in most movies, they don't spend enough time on the discovery. I think the discovery is the movie.
This film, it takes you on a big action ride. You want to sit in a dark, cool theater with some popcorn and enjoy the spectacle. And there's a lot of spectacle here.
I have some good news. Let's go for a walk.
Jared Leto was the only actor that could really do the part of Morbius. Matt Smith was somebody that we were searching for. Adria Arjona is a great actress. Tyrese is this very serious, very strong man. And Madrigal is this funny guy.
So we have a good team around us.
Jared did an enormous amount of research as he was building the character of Morbius.
So what's the speed you want here?
He's become known for his kind of approach to his characters.
He thinks about the character all day long, all night long. He doesn't come out of the character, and it's quite impressive.
I said get out!
Working with him has been a little intimidating and inspiring at the same time.
What did you do to yourself, Doctor? I wish I knew.
Matt Smith is an unbelievable actor. It's been a pleasure to watch him work.
He's a very classical trained actor, but to be a real star, you have to have a bit of a punk in you, and Matt has that.
He's amazing how he can morph from one thing to another.
I think he has this magnetism about him.
I just don't know whether to believe that. Adria Arjona, who is just a delight, does all her own stunts.
When I met her, I thought that she was too young. But then when I saw her perform, I could see that she had maturity beyond her own age.
I don't want to see you get hurt.
Why am I still alive if not to fix this?
We're very, very lucky to have Tyrese Gibson and Al Madrigal, who play our superhero-type police.
Al is so funny to be around. He always has like a good joke right after a take.
I think the ship's gonna explode.
It's been fun to both make Al a bit more serious, but then make Tyrese a bit more open to laughter.
They're both great actors. There's a lot of incredible energy from Tyrese and Al. They complement each other and they really vibe off of each other.
Al, it's been a joy working with him, and he is definitely delivering.
What hunts at night and drinks human blood?
You're gonna love this.
I think these movies allow you to be quite bold as an actor.
I think we have a lot of intense actors in this movie.
I did things on this movie that I really don't think I ever did before.
We're blessed with a wonderful cast, just a fresh and very interesting, dynamic energy.
It's pretty incredible the amount of work that goes in, the number of shots, the number of people that it takes to put all of this together.
I'm fast and he's furious.
I think at the end of the day, people go to movies to see characters that move them.
Let's see what we can really do.
There's tons of Easter eggs, but I think you have to find them by yourself. I think that's the fun with them.
Notes from the lab of Dr. Michael Morbius. Additional observations by Dr. Martine Bancroft. This helicopter tail number is a nod to the original Michael Morbius's appearance in a swampy character's comic book in 1974.
Test subject for cell combination 117.
Additionally, there's issue number 117, Morbius the Living Vampire number 1.
Do you know the average male body has 12 pints of blood in them? How much do you think the doctor could drink?
Originally created as an enemy of Spider-Man, it hasn't been authenticated which universe he calls home.
Well, we haven't had anything this good since that thing in San Francisco.
Who the hell are you, Matt?
I am Venom.
There's some familiar signs within the cityscape.
We miss you at Horizon. We could use your mind.
Horizon Lab from the 2010 Amazing Spider-Man comic book story, where Dr. Octopus puts his mind into Peter Parker's body.
Not exactly sanitary.
Many fans will catch the Daily Bugle masthead, which also appeared in Venom. But a closer look reveals stories about 2 more of Spider-Man's enemies.
Nice work, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor. Many might miss the shocking nod to Marvel illustrator M.C. Wyman. If you stayed to the end, you would have seen Adrian Toombs.
Hope the food's better in this joint.
I wonder who else they might team up with. Not sure I found all the answers. We might have to do more research.
Great stuff. Really informative. Thank you.
Let's do a stunt rehearsal.
I'm about to jump from this little green cross down here to the second club.
3, 2, 1, action!
Morbius is a bit more a monster movie. This is a person who goes through a true personal transformation. And for that, I needed an expert.
I met with Daniel Espinosa, the director, and Lucas Foster, and we showed them our work.
We're super lucky to have him. He was nominated for an Academy Award. He is working with Digital Domain for a large part of our visual effects to create the vampires and the various different transitions of the characters and the environments that we're living in. Fantastic.
Matthew Butler is a brilliant visual effects supervisor. That's what I needed.
It's always a tall order to do something new in this industry. But I haven't done anything quite like this. What we're going to have to do is shake this one up and have it go up and down. But we jumped straight in, and we jumped in at the deep end to create this monster. There's a desire to have Jared be Jared in a lot of this movie, yet he needs to be this living vampire.
Time to go.
So he can bloom from his humanoid version into this vampiric version, and it's typically done through anger.
I say get out!
You know, it needs to look and feel and smell like that person, right? So Matt Smith needs to come through in his vampiric form. Jared Leto needs to come through in his vampiric form. And yet, we need to make this potentially horrific, at times, character.
I needed somebody who could portray the inner struggles that Morbius has from an exterior point of view.
Okay, so I'm part bad. Let's see what we can really do.
And one of the things Daniel was particularly interested in doing was visualizing some of Morbius's special powers. And one of which is his ability to visualize wind vectors and to echolocate like a bat would. But how do you visualize that?
I think they did a great job with the ability to kind of see using your sense of hearing. It's fun to explore in a performance aspect, like how do you translate that?
If you want to be really pedantic about it, there's nothing to see. But obviously, you know, film is a visual medium. And what's nice about that is it gives us the excuse to do something that's really kind of visually sexy.
It's always interesting because as a comic book lover, you always contemplate how you would do when somebody discovers their fundamental elements, their powers.
My previous background was in aerospace, and since I focus on computational fluid dynamics and visualizing the flow of fluids, that particularly appealed to me because it's something I could see a way to visualize that in a sort of cool and not just gratuitous fashion. Like with most visual effects, there's never a single answer to anything. We try and use the right tool for the job, and each job is slightly different. So we're going to let them perform on stage now.
3, 2, 1, go!
But then recapture their performance with a marked up array of dots in their face and stereo helmet cameras on them that can capture all those minute details. Then they're going to have to come back and perform some things yet again, and then we're going to render that and put that back into the shots.
Milo!
Got me.
They run around the tunnel, defying gravity, upside down. Then we bend around, they're over here, and they grab on that lie. I don't think it's going to get any better than that, yeah. And then they leap down the escalators. We're going to motion capture their action. Yeah, I hope it works.
Yes! That's really good.
That's good.
It takes you to places that you feel like you really haven't been before.
I hope that it's something that the audience finds visually stimulating.
So Jared Leto.
I'm Jared Leto, yeah.
What's your specialty?
Salsa.
Salsa! Oh!
I'm super excited about Morbius because, you know, I had the opportunity to bring the character to the screen for the very first time, and that's quite an honor.
Are you ready for Morbius?
I said, are you ready for Morbius?
It's a great song.
Roulette. We have to go to the drum circle. batteries are in your muscle, right? It's this building on the corner. I was throwing this bag of nuts in the air. I swear to God, years after we came, we see that bag of nuts. Yeah, right here on the ledge.
I am Venom.
Trapped in a car in Germany on a mission to find the end of the world. But it's a beautiful day.
Paris, Paris. It's a beautiful day.
Belle du jour, family.
Bonsoir, Paris.
One of my favorite cities in the entire world. I'm so happy to be here. I love this city. I love you guys. I enjoyed listening to my answers en français. It sounds so much smarter.
Your French is actually very good.
No, it's happy. Love you guys, okay? Je t'aime.
Morbius appeared first as an antagonist in The Amazing Spider-Man in 1971, and eventually evolved into more of an antihero.
If you're gonna run, do it now.
For years before that, Marvel was actually forbidden from using characters considered more on the supernatural side, so it was a really big deal when Morbius finally made his debut.
There's something inside of me that wants to hunt and consume blood.
He was part of a much darker turn within Marvel, one that, fortunately, fans fully embraced. After all, everyone loves a good monster story. There's something about the character that stoked people's imaginations. It really can grab a hold of you.
Johnny!
That certainly did with me.
Morbius.
See you in theaters. Morbius is, and always has been, a really standout persona in Marvel lore.
You need a doctor? I am a doctor.
There's a lot of mystery around this character. It's not a character who's had a film made about him before.
I went from dying to being more alive than ever.
So there's an entire world to discover.
What did you do to yourself, doctor? I wish I knew.
In the film version of Morbius, he's part of a much larger universe.
We haven't had anything this good since that thing in San Francisco.
You're gonna love this.
The multiverse has officially opened, and there's all kinds of opportunities for villains to meet up.
Are you here to heal the world or to destroy it?
I don't know.
See you in theaters. It's me, Jared, star of the upcoming film Morbius. Has anything like this ever happened to you? You wear your favorite shirt and bam, you end up with a stain. I know it's happened to my character Morbius. Today, I'm testing popular methods for stain removal. It's all about the lemon. Lemon is not working. Stain remover stick. Whoop! That's not working. White vinegar. Come on. Not working. Soap. The moral of the story is wear a bib.